And now the Hansons and Hiatus podcast with Nate and Alexis.
Happy Friday, fuckers. It is episode 97 of the Hansons on Hiatus podcast. I'm your host, Nate, and this is my wife, Alexis.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
And don't forget to support the podcast. buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on Hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
And we'll happily drink.
Yes, yeah. So, yeah, if you like what we're doing, you can go ahead and buy us, just some virtual libations.
Yes.
If you appreciate the information. But if you really like what we're doing and you listen every week and you enjoy the stories and the fun and the information and everything like that,
better for you.
Yeah, and if you want to just do a donation monthly and you don't want to have to worry about it or anything, you can be a little fucky for $1. You can be a medium fucky for $5, and you can be a big old fucky for $10.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's on our Patreon, just to support the podcast, keep it going, keep us working. And you can get there from our website, hansonsonhiatus.com. It not only has that podcast or that link, it also has a link to our podcast on Instagram and Spotify in case you want to share with your friends. Really appreciate it. And we also have the merch store with a bunch of our designs for the podcast. If you are a fucky, you can get a shirt there. What do we have a bunch of different like holidays and pug stuff, and I think we're working on some kitty stuff.
We got some cat stuff. It should be up now.
Yes, I love got some good designs. They're real good for you kitty people out there.
Yes, we got some kitty requests, so of course I have to get them out there.
Yeah. We wanted to thank our new medium fuckies.
Yes.
Brian from Wisconsin.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a fucky.
Yeah, Brian and his wife Tracy. And then also, this is a rare one. I don't know who this is, but they signed up as Spandex Thor.
I don't know who that is, but I love it. I
Yes.
love it. Love Brian and Tracy. Love you. Spandex Thor. That's a fun name.
Yeah, I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, who could this be? You know, if it's somebody we interact with on Instagram or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to rack my brain.
Even the email address, obviously, I won't give it out, but I couldn't even figure out like the name of it from there. So
so funny.
So well done, Spandex.
We appreciate you, Mr. Thor.
Yes.
Mr. Spandex Thor.
Yes. All right. And also like, follow, share, subscribe, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music at Hansons on Hiatus.
We are there.
We are there.
We be there.
Oh man, yeah, So not a crazy week. We did some. I mean, it was, but it wasn't like we went skydiving or anything or
I
whatnot.
love you always say that. Nothing crazy happened, or we're not going to do anything crazy, and then something always happens.
Yeah, something crazy. Well, this isn't even crazy, but one of the things I thought was observation I made when we were walking down the street. This lady was walking towards us.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she just came from the gas station or something like that. And she starts like walking to me like, I'm like, she's going to ask me for directions or, hey, do you know where this is? Or, whatever. And she hands me her like Gatorade or juice or whatever and goes, hey, can you open this?
Yeah.
I thought that was weird, but cool at the same time.
I saw her coming for you. She was making a beeline, and I love that she had the guts to ask somebody that, especially a guy walking with a woman, like, hey, can I borrow your man's hands for a minute?
Right.
Which you do have some nice strong hands, so that's great. That was awesome. She's just like, can you open this? Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was pretty bold, I guess. And it should be like that. You should be able to ask strangers on the street things, but I don't think I've ever been asked that before. Can you open my drink?
I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have waited until I got home or someone I knew to be like, can you help me? I don't know if I would have just asked
I
a
don't think I would.
stranger.
Yeah, I would have waited till I got home and probably opened it with like scissors and cut my hand and ruined the bottle.
All
but
the things.
yeah.
I'm going to start asking strangers, hey, can you open this for me?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Well, and speaking of bottles, I posted this on my Instagram stories, but I don't know, you people that are radio listeners from the Atlanta days, you'll probably remember the old Joby's commercials.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was, what was it, like bee pollen?
It's like bee pollen and vitamins, I think. It's supposed to help you, I guess, with seasonal allergies, different things like that, or just make you feel good.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I remember, like, obviously we got some to try out when they were doing their sponsorships and everything, and Apparently we had brought a full bottle unopened down here to Mexico like 3 years ago.
Yep.
And it's been expired for about 3 years.
Yes.
And so I was asking on Instagram, I was like, do you think this is okay to take? So I took it and I turned into a bumblebee.
Oh my gosh, you're so cute.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like, I don't know, like, does bee pollen expire? Like, is it bad for you, or is it just maybe not work?
Maybe it's like, I know there's a date on it, so it's like best if used by this date. So maybe it just won't be as potent. I think that's with medicine. It doesn't go bad. It just gets less.
Right.
It's supposed to.
I would love to talk to someone, or if anybody's listening, that's like a pharmacist or something like that, because I've heard that, and then in my brain that makes sense, kind of. I guess I don't know really how like compressed powders into a pill form don't work as much. Like, is it like a half-life kind of thing, where whatever? But
we have this argument a lot. I'm
yeah.
like, it's expired, throw it away.
Yeah.
You're like, no.
But I've also heard, and maybe this is like a little conspiracy that I'm buying into or something, but I've also heard that companies purposely do that so you will buy a new product. Because if they say, oh, hey, buy this bottle of 500 aspirin and it'll last you, 6 years or something, you're never going to buy a new one.
Yeah.
Kind of like how you've heard, I don't know if it's conspiracy theory at this point, maybe it's true, certain electronics or cars, they purposely make them to break after a certain amount of time, because if they make them really good, you're never going to buy a new one.
Exactly. Who's going to buy $1,000 phones or laptops every year?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
we're on to them. We know. We know what's going on.
So I've heard that too, is like they just throw an expiration date on there just in case.
Did you feel okay after you took it?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
So I
don't know, but I mean, do my antennas look good?
Your
or-
wings look great.
Yeah, my wingies, my little.
I know we used to give them to the
Want to
dogs.
touch my thorax?
I want to touch your pointer.
Ding!
Your stinger.
I'll sting ya.
I don't know why we both got
sting ya. What I want to bing ya.
Sting ya.
Sting ya. Ridiculous.
Anyway.
Yeah, but anyway. So another thing, we were walking to the grocery store.
Yeah.
Because I had seen on Facebook, we have these like Facebook groups here, and one of them that I'm in is like food finds.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that either we just get periodically, like randomly, we'll get green beans in a can.
Yeah. Pickles.
And then, I mean, pickles are a little bit better now. When we first moved here, we had to ride like our bike a couple miles to get pickles.
True.
Which we
did.
Sounds like such a fucking boomer story. Like, rode my bike uphill both ways in the snow to get the pickles.
I did it for the pickles.
Did it for the pigs.
Why not?
But yeah, so there's this group that show, like, people ask, hey, has anybody seen this? Or, does this, like, somebody today asked where to get Triscuits. And somebody was like, oh, I saw them in the grocery store about 8 years ago.
Oh my God.
But never seen them since. So
I love when people comment like, I don't know where to get them. Okay, why'd you comment?
Yeah.
I saw them 8 years ago.
Yeah, this wasn't an open forum
Cool.
for like, hey, I don't know.
Give
like,
the positive, not the negative.
Yeah. Yeah, not helpful. But I saw in the group that they had russet potatoes, and which sounds silly. That's something we're excited about, but the potatoes here, I really don't have a problem with them. I usually make mashed potatoes with them during Thanksgiving and stuff, but like the real foodie people say that the potatoes here are bad. They say that they're very not bad for you, just not as flavorful, and that they're very like waxy,
a little more dense.
Yeah, they're kind of like, I don't know, what are those the potatoes we get? They're more like white potatoes.
Yeah, they're like the ones at home have that brown skin that really
that's the russet.
The ones here, it's a very thin whitish skin that doesn't get like that crispy. And I can tell like the potatoes, they taste a little more grainy than fluffy, I'll say, when you made the russet potatoes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what they're called.
I love it that you're in all those groups and that's what you saw. You were like, we have to go to Walmart. They have russet potatoes.
Oh, yeah.
We're taking a ride. Let's go.
They were only like 65 pesos, so like $3.
Great for a whole
so.
bag.
Yeah, I don't know. Yukon potatoes, maybe? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But it's probably not that brand, type or whatever, but people say that it's not as good as the russet. And so we got a bag, and they are correct.
They were delicious.
They were so good. We made some like, we did like a little baked potato bar, got some sour cream, some crema, and some cheese. But I don't know, what are some things like that you either wish you saw more often or you see every now and then, but it's not here all the time? Like, is there anything that you can think of off the top of your head that like you kind of miss?
Usually it's like brands almost, or like the cosmetics that I like to buy. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but certain things or beauty products like lotions and stuff like that, I can't get my certain brands here. Or if I do find the brand, like I am a big Neutrogena person, and there's a couple other ones I like even on the cheaper side, Elf makes, cosmetics, but they're good quality, but they're usually like kind of the lower end of the price. So I like to buy those. You'll see them here, but they'll be 3 times the price. I think my Neutrogena face wash here is usually like $30, and at home it's like $10-15. So it's quite a difference, and I don't understand why. I guess they import it, that's why. But
Yeah. You think like they would?
know.
We're so close that you think they'd like throw a factory here or something,
something.
Yeah, but some of the things I'm thinking of are like grape jelly.
Oh, yeah, I
Grape
forgot
jelly
about
like does, and again, we say Mexico, but like
Our
we're just
side.
talking about like our state or our area of Mexico.
Yeah.
We don't get these things.
Quintana Roo.
Yeah. So yeah,
Maybe.
grape jelly. You really don't find blueberry. You'll get raspberry, frutas rojas.
Fresa.
Yeah, strawberry. Like you get all the berries,
Yeah.
but yeah, no grape for some reason.
Which I don't mind. I know you're a big grape person. This is another argument we have. What's peanut butter and jelly? What's the jelly?
Well, it's no argument. It's grape jelly.
I grew up with strawberry jelly, so maybe there was
That's
something
weird.
when we were kids that.
Sorry, you were poor.
But I love grape juice and I love grapes, so I don't know why we did strawberry.
Yeah.
I bet strawberry is more expensive than grape. Well, you call me poor.
Yeah, you might be right. Well, I don't know. I mean, grapes are cheaper than strawberries,
True.
but I
You know
doubt grape
Cindy.
jelly is made with real grapes.
True.
You know.
You know Cindy. She's a little fancy.
But I was looking for grape jelly. Yeah, your mom. Yeah, I was looking for grape jelly for when we were making little smokies over the holidays, and
Yes.
normally it is barbecue sauce, or at least the way I make it, it's barbecue sauce, grape jelly, and Heinz chili sauce.
I think that's the correct and proper way to make little smokies.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, so no grape jelly
Nope.
there, and then couldn't find the Heinz chili sauce.
Yeah.
So that's when I ended up I think I used like sriracha ketchup and something else, which
Addicted.
yeah.
I'm addicted.
I didn't know it was the thing. I mean, I don't know if it's a thing in the U.S., but we have ketchup that has sriracha in it. So it's basically just ketchup, but with like a little hint of like spice.
It's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
So when I
mean,
go
yeah.
back to normal ketchup, I'm just like, I love ketchup, but something's missing here. I like that little kick.
yeah. It's just like that little like whoo at the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
Is it Heinz or does sriracha make it? Is it Heinz ketchup with siracha?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
yeah, because it's in the Heinz bottle. It's
Okay,
not in
good.
the sriracha bottle with ketchup in
I was
it.
just checking my Pittsburgh card. I can
Yeah.
only eat Heinz ketchup.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Do they have Heinz, the other stuff that we have here that's Heinz, like the Heinz barbecue and stuff like that?
They have. I've seen the relish, mayonnaise.
Right.
I think.
I mean,
they
that's
have
here,
the
but like
barbecue.
I mean, is it normal back in the States?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
say
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
checking. Let's see what else.
Final answer.
The taco packets that you would get to make tacos.
Oh, yeah,
Like
our
with ground beef.
Our white people taco night.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah. We always have my mom bring some of those down when she comes to visit.
yeah. It makes it easier. We have the little shaky bottle, but I like the
Yeah,
I like
I mean,
the packets.
we can put our own spices together or anything, but it's just easy. It's already measured out.
Yeah.
It's like 80 cents or 40 cents or something like
And
that.
they
in the
lie to
States.
me and say like 25% less sodium on the front. I don't care.
Yeah. No, I'm sticking by it. I think it's less sodium.
I feel
Let's see what else. Brown sugar. They don't have there's what was the other one called? So there's another kind of brown sugar, but it's really like
green
raw cane sugar
Yeah.
that is just not processed, so it looks brown. It starts with a P. I'll have to look it up.
Oh.
But brown sugar is technically white sugar that has been had molasses added to it, and so the
Oh.
molasses is what makes it look and taste the way brown sugar does.
I learned something new today on this podcast.
No,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Stick around.
Appreciate it.
Bread and butter pickles.
Oh.
You know, like we get the dill pickles, but I want like those,
Yeah.
like the bread and butter ones, or just the pickles that aren't like the green snot ones. Like I like the white, like the Vlasic.
Oh yeah.
Vlasic, yeah.
I'm not a bread and butter pickle fan. I like the dill pickles and I'm good.
Okay, I just want some variety. Like I want some of the spears give me some of, like I said, the
True.
ones that are a little bit more white color. They don't have so much soaked in, or the brine soaked in.
Yeah.
Cheddar cheese, which
Yeah.
they have it here. But it is not easy to come by, like shredded cheddar cheese. Even a block of shredded cheddar cheese is hard to find. I mean, I could shred it myself. But, you know.
Say that 20 times.
I'm just getting a little verklempt over this cheddar. Ooh.
Cheese is different here. They have a lot of great cheeses in Mexico, so I think they don't have room for the other cheeses. I say this because my feta cheese there, the normal brand, you always see it like Publix or wherever, and they have different brands. They're so expensive here. They're like $10, $12, $13. My friend just told me I need to go to Sam's. They have a giant container of it for like $10. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get to Sam's.
Yeah. Let's see what else.
You got?
Canned soup.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
You know, like we make a lot of soups. We just do like a little, like either like the chicken or beef bouillon or broth or whatever, and then we add our own chicken and vegetables and stuff in it, and we make our own soup typically. But just like a good old fashioned like Campbell's chunky, potato and bacon, whatever, which I know it's probably not good for you, but
oh yeah, I couldn't imagine how much those would cost here. They'd probably be a lot because it would probably be imported, and then they're kind of pricey anyway at home.
Yeah,
like the Campbell, like the chunky soup you're saying, those are pretty pricey.
Yeah, they are. Now they are. And then the last one was apple cider.
Yes, we have been missing apple cider around the October month.
I'm trying to make some hot apple cider and whiskey, some cinnamon whiskey.
And you've gone everywhere to every store and asked people, and they always want to give you, what's that cider, that beer?
Strongbow.
Yes. I can't think. They're like, oh, here's apple cider. We're like, kinda no.
Yeah.
That's a cider, but not apple cider.
Yeah. So some of the things that we can't normally get here, we'll have somebody bring down for us. They're coming on vacation, or, if my parents are coming down or something, we'll say, hey, you mind grabbing this for us? And something
Smuggle
simple.
It down.
Yeah. And you mentioned beauty products earlier. So I come in the living room and you got this like Smurf like do-rag on. What is this thing?
It is, I think it's called a bonnet, but it's for sleeping. So you're just looking at me crazy. It's a sleeping bonnet that I've seen on the TikTok, of course. I've seen online, but you wear it at night and it helps with your hair. It helps keep it like shiny and smooth. When I wake up some days, my hair is all crazy and it's all over the place.
Never. You look beautiful every morning.
Oh, thanks, babe. You're so sweet. I don't believe you, but so now you put the little Smurf cap on and it keeps your hair, nicely tucked in there, nice and smooth. I got up today. My hair looks great. I love it. I'm a fan.
I thought Aunt Jemima broke into our house.
Oh my God.
Coming 2025 in Mexico, we're starting our own maple syrup. It's called Tia Alexis.
I love it. New job.
Yeah,
2025.
new job. So, being you.
I know you looked at me, put it on, looked at you when we went to bed, and you were like, you didn't even have to say anything, and I already knew.
If I was gonna say anything, it would have been, girl.
I'm a fan. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to have amazing hair.
It looks good.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, one day in. Looking great.
Look weird at night. Look beautiful during the day.
Yes. But okay, so let's get into our weekend. Anything else that you remember or that like you can't normally get? I know bagels aren't like super popular here. You can't get anything.
I
think I usually do the shopping, so I probably notice the stuff more often than
you do. You're the shopper.
Yeah, or the cooker.
The cook and the shopper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just not so much that you can't get here, but it's like hit or miss. You're not always going to see the same pickles. You're not always going to see the same sauce. You're not always going to see the same beauty products.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little different.
It makes it hard to do meal prep.
Yeah.
When you don't know what you're getting week to week or
Some
whatever.
days we go to the store, there's no chicken breast, so we got to go to the other store or check out another one.
Well, like I'm making tuna noodle casserole tonight, and what was like they had everything at our like local grocery store except for they have yellow onions or cream of mushroom soup.
Oh yeah.
Just like the concentrate or whatever. So I had to like I walked like 5-6 blocks to the bus station. I took the bus to another grocery store, went there, got my stuff, took the bus back, then had to walk 5 or 6 blocks back. So, another half hour, to an hour of traveling just to get 2 other ingredients. So
Nothing's quick.
this is Mexico.
This is Mexico, but it's good. It's fine.
Yeah. Friday, we went to our local soccer team is the Interplaya, and it was their first match of the second half of the season. So we usually take a break between like November and January, and so this was the first game back, and we met up with some of our Sunday Funday crew.
Yeah, met up with some friends. The game didn't end so well, but it was okay.
Yeah, but there was oh no, actually, did we? No,
we did.
Wait, was there? Did we go to 2? No, you guys left, and I stayed there.
Right.
So yeah, you did. Well, it didn't end well because some of our Sunday Funday crew got a little drunky monkey,
A little too much.
and y'all left, and I stayed to watch the game, and we won 1-0.
Yes.
So it did end
That's
pretty
right.
good, but
Good.
maybe not for everybody.
Maybe I was thinking of the Steeler game. I'm just still disappointed.
Yeah, that didn't end
It
well.
was
So,
terrible.
yeah.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. But yeah, what was it? There was the Mexican or the Maya dog, the Zolo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it mine or is
Sholo?
Oh, is it? Is it Sholo?
I
Yeah, I
think
guess
so.
I guess it depends on, it's like if you try to say it with the Mayan accent or whatever, but
True.
is it Mayan or is it
think-
Aztec?
Ooh.
Or maybe they just had them all throughout Mexico.
Yeah, maybe. Well, they're like a.
I mean, they have them in the ceremony or at the Xcaret Park.
Yeah.
Like they have it in that show at the end of the night.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've seen it in like Mexico City and like the Aztec stuff there too. So I don't know. But it's probably, it's not that far. It's like 2.5 hour flight away. I'm sure they had dogs across the country.
Yeah. It doesn't really say. It says it's in this area, origin Mexico. We'll have to look into it more later.
Yeah.
They're so weird. They're like also.
Oh yeah, it felt like a nutsack.
Mexican hairless dog. We always see them and they're so cute. And if you've ever seen Coco, the dog on there, Dante, he's one of those, and they make him seem all dumb or whatever. But they're kind of like floppy and silly like that.
Yeah.
I've never touched one. Also, he felt so hot.
Yeah.
And so weird, like a.
It's
I
like a
don't
little
know.
bit bristle. It depends on where some of them have fur in different places, a little bit on their head, or they might have
Yeah.
some on their back. If you haven't seen them before, they look like a naked mole rat as a dog, and usually they're black and maybe have some splotches or something.
Yeah, like a grayish.
Generally, I think they're black. But yeah, they feel like a little bristly, like you would think like a warthog would feel.
Yeah.
But then their skin is like kind of tough and rubbery. Like I said, it feels like a scrotum.
So weird.
And a little bit of like bristly hair. So yeah, it's a different dog. I don't know if I would like to play with one a little bit more, but
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want one
It might be
unless
nice.
they were small. I wish they were a little bit smaller.
Yeah, when they're tiny puppies, they're so cute. But it might be nice to have a dog that doesn't shed. So
Yeah.
that would be a good thing if you're allergic to animals. But at the same time, I want like a fluffy little puppy. I want something
Yeah,
to,
a little snuggly.
pet. It was kind of weird. I couldn't get over how hot he was. He was just like a little furnace.
Yeah.
Just I could feel the
But
heat
remember
radiating off.
Pharaoh? That's how he was. Like
True.
he was a little pink bod.
They probably Pinky Man. They probably just have like extra or super metabolism, just burning everything
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, but yeah, if you ever get a chance to touch one, do it because it's fucking weird.
Do it. This one we saw had like a weird little white tuft of hair on its head, like a mohawk almost. It was so cute.
Yeah. It did have a little mohawk.
Yeah, it was
Goofy.
like white gray hair, but then the rest of it was kind of like a blackish gray skin. Ooh, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
They probably don't look good when they get older either.
No.
Like, ooh,
Yeah, probably not.
wrinkly.
Yeah. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, we met up with some friends and went to the beach. Our friends Eric and Rachel from Chicago / Iowa a little bit. But they have a paddleboard,
Yeah,
and it was a busy day at the beach.
it was.
And I wanted to try it, but I was a little kind of hungover-ish from the day before, or from the soccer match the
Yeah.
night
It
before.
was a long day.
And I didn't know if I could get up. Like we've only been paddleboarding once, and it was on the Chattahoochee in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and it was not easy. It was
No.
very hard. But we went with Brandy, if you all remember her from the radio station,
Yeah.
and it was difficult. And I couldn't. That's the only place I've done it, so I couldn't tell if it was just because it was on a river, or is it just with the current and everything, or are we
Yeah.
just bad at it? Because my legs were burning, like trying to keep balance.
I think two things that day we went with Brandy. The conditions were not ideal. I remember it being windy. It was a little choppy because it was like later in the day. So there was a bunch of people out and waves and stuff. And then, what else? I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah. But no, you're just talking about going paddleboarding.
Yeah. Just, it was, I think the conditions. And then, oh, that's what I was going to say. I feel like we're in much better shape now than at the time. We were kind of falling all over the place. We weren't really like.
True. I had that double IPA bod from Atlanta.
Nice. Atlanta will do that to you.
Good food. I mean, I miss the food in Atlanta too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, but no, it was good. It was a nice beach day. There's people doing yoga and stuff on the beach. Yeah, it was a little crazy.
Yeah, there were crazy yoga people there, holding each other up like acrobat, doing different things. They were just everywhere. And then one of the girls was actually one of our friends that we had just met too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't even know.
So random.
Our friend
right?
Coco.
Yeah. But so I think we talked about this last episode, but my parents are in town now.
Yes.
For
April 9th.
3. No, but who's counting?
Till April 9th.
Yeah. So like 3 months, right? Got 3.5 months or something. And it's interesting as an adult, like to hang out with your parents and you learn more things about them.
Yeah.
Like they'll tell you stories. I think this happened when we went and visited your family too.
Yep.
Like tell you stories of things like you've never heard before. And you're like, why have I known you for like 40 some years and have never heard this story?
Why have I been hanging out with you for 40 years? And
Are
I'm
we
just
even
like...
friends? God.
What I think is weird is I hear the same stories from my parents, especially your parents, but then they'll randomly throw in a new story and we're like, why have you never told me that? That's really cool, or that's very interesting, instead of the same story that we've heard 1,000 times.
Yeah. Yeah, it's super weird.
Maybe they just remember. They're like, aha.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't remember what I did last week. That's why we're doing this podcast.
True.
So I'm shocked that they can remember something long ago.
What did you learn from Mark and Jackie?
Today I learned about my parents. And maybe we'll do this as a reoccurring segment.
Yeah. While
they're here. So we're at dinner and I can't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah.
But my mom was talking about, like a lot of adults in their, I don't know, like 70s, I guess, that have that smallpox vaccine scar on their shoulder.
My mom has one.
Or depending on where it is.
Yeah.
Is it on your mom's shoulder?
My mom's, like her bicep.
Right,
like it's not a huge circle, but I've noticed it since I was little. I would always point it out, like, what happened?
Yeah, well, she was saying that somebody else, like one of her friends has one, and it's like on their thigh, but it's like the size of like $50 or something.
I didn't know they did thighs.
Yeah, so, but anyway, so she was, and I didn't really know how that vaccine or shot worked. It was, I guess, like you get it and you want you want to have like a little bit of a reaction or something to show that like your body is like fighting it or something.
Yeah.
So she said that she got it like, and this was like, I guess in 9th grade, and my mom's 69, 68,
70 yet.
Yeah. She's born in 57. So, but like in 9th grade, she said she got the vaccine at school a couple times. And it wasn't reacting. Yeah. And then I guess like the 3rd time she got it, it reacted. And so I don't know what that means. Like it's irritated or it like bumps up or something like that.
It like bumps up or something. Like you're saying, you got to have that reaction.
So she said that she touched it like when she was changing the Band-Aid off or whatever. And at the time must have had like an open zit or something on her face and touched her face. And she got one of those smallpox things like on her face.
Oh no.
And she said, and I guess she has a scar now from it.
Wow.
But she's like, yeah, so I basically had smallpox. I don't know. You remember talking about this at dinner? She said like she was just super lethargic and like couldn't get out of bed and just like couldn't see straight and felt like she was like dying or whatever for a couple weeks.
Oh, God. Sounds like the worst, like COVID or something, or the flu, or terrible.
And her doctor was like, I've never seen anything like this.
Oh.
Like, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about her doctor not getting invited to her wedding. That's a whole nother story. But anyway.
They still feel bad to this day.
Well, if your this doctor is listening, my mom feels bad.
Yeah, I forget his name. But it's like her childhood doctor, not her adult.
Yeah, well, I'm going to guess he's not listening at this point.
Oh, yeah. He could be.
Rest in peace.
Oh, sorry, doctor.
Oh, maybe. I guess he could be like 90 or something.
Yeah.
But anyway. So, he's like, I've never seen anything like this, that like she didn't get full blown like smallpox everywhere. Everybody was just in one spot.
Crazy.
So I wonder if does that mean she has the the virus or something in her still or something. I don't really. I honestly don't know a lot about smallpox.
I don't either.
So.
Maybe she's like a superwoman. She's got the antibodies. She's like, I fight off smallpox everywhere I go.
Yeah.
After
I think it's like almost like extinct or something, right? Like
Yeah.
we've done a good job eradicating it.
I think there's some cases, maybe not in the U.S., but
yeah.
you see once in a while in the news, like a smallpox case or whatever.
Yeah, true.
Get vaccinated.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or
it's
don't.
probably from some, some third world country or something. They don't have it.
True.
Who knows? But
Or don't do what you
so
want.
that was my that was a story from my mom that I just learned. Never heard that before. And I was telling my brother, and he's like, "Don't you die from that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I thought you did too."
She's alive.
Yeah.
She's here.
Apparently, we're here. And then my dad told us a story, and truth be told, my dad was an optometrist. He was an eye doctor for 40 some years.
Yeah.
And he said, so he got LASIK.
Mhm.
He got the LASIK surgery. So he didn't. I mean, I don't know if it's like you don't have to wear glasses or contacts, or it just makes it easier or something. I think it's so you don't have to wear them. But he said he like created his own surgery, basically, where he got it done from a what is it, ophthalmologist or whoever does the eye surgeries.
He did it himself.
No, well, yeah.
That'd be terrible. Oh my god.
But he said that he purposely he wanted to talk to the surgeon. He's like, "This is the plan I want. I want the left eye to see." Like, and I don't know what his deal was, if he was nearsighted or farsighted, or what the strength was or whatever. But his left one, he wanted to see like out this far, like about 3 feet in front of him, straight ahead.
Yeah.
And then he said he wanted him to make his right eye down into the right. I mean, not like the direction. He didn't look like fucking googly eyed.
Yeah, he's like, right.
But like make it the most clear that direction. So I don't know if he had like a blurry spot down there he wanted them to correct. So his two like the vision strength goes like two different directions.
Crazy.
And I was like, "Is that normal?" And he's like,
"Is that
no."
allowed?
Yeah, he's like, "No."
Oh.
And I was like, "So why would you do that?" And he's like, "I'm a fucking eye doctor."
Oh.
I was like, "All right, Mark, you get it.
I
You get
wanted
it.
to do it.
You get it, boy."
How did he convince the other doctor, hey, this will work and do it to my eyeballs?
I don't know. They're probably like, "He's a fucking eye doctor.
True.
He probably knows what he's thinking."
Do
But
whatever you want.
I don't know if that's something I would not experiment with.
No.
Is like face
eyes.
stuff, like even like Botox and stuff like that. I mean,
It scares
maybe it'll
me.
come back to bite me in the future. Maybe it'll be way easier and I'll do it or something.
Yeah.
But at this point, I ain't fucking with my lips. I ain't fucking with my forehead and Botox and all that junk.
You don't want some duck lips?
And I'm not fucking with my eyeballs.
No.
Because that's not how I'm living the rest of my life.
Don't they have to like burn your retinas or something for LASIK?
No,
or-
they slice off the front of your cornea.
Ah.
They peel it back. I don't know what they do in there.
Oh.
They like put some
know
Mexican
what
jumping beans in there or
I don't know what
something.
they do in there. They just burn it off and shut it down.
Yeah, they shut it down. They squirt some WD-40 in there.
Ugh, God.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, they do like slice off the front of it, and then they do something else. I don't know what they do. And then they have to put it back, and that's why you have to keep your eyes closed for so long. It's so basically like the flap will like heal back around your eye.
Oh, Jesus. That hurts. That makes my eyes hurt.
Yeah, but maybe he can tell us a little bit more about that surgery, and then we can relay it. But I was like, that's crazy. I would never go to like a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon and be like, hey, this aorta thing?
Yeah.
Can you just like tweak it and then like reform it so it's not on the top of my
This is what I
heart?
want you to do.
Yeah. I just want it to be like down behind my heart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. So I ain't doing that.
No.
So
That sounds terrible.
that is what I've learned from my parents this week.
I can't wait. I learned a lot of things from your parents this week. I can't wait to hear more.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to. And let's get before we get out of here, let's get to one Airbnb horror story.
Okay.
Or I don't know if they're horror stories. We still need to come up with a name for this
I
segment.
know.
I haven't think about it.
If anyone has a good name, just Tales, like Tales of the Crypt, Tales of the Airbnb.
Yeah, it's been done.
Oh,
Let's do
okay.
something clever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you think on it.
Okay.
You're my think tank.
But yeah, let's talk about the other Nate.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. Well, nobody knows who he is.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We'll just call him Nate.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had this
That's
guy.
totally not his real name.
Yeah. It's not. Anyway, so this guy rents our place. It's booked for months. He's got a reservation. We're communicating. They're excited. It's like him and his girlfriend. They're coming down to Tulum. hang out, do whatever. The night before, we get this message, and it's me, my boss, and the homeowner that's in this group. And we get this weird message that says, like, hey, what's your cancellation policy? I'm in the hospital. I had, what do you say? Not a heart attack, but
heart failure.
Heart failure. And we're like, number one,
how are you messaging us?
Why are you messaging us right now? Like, the Airbnb should be the last thing on your mind, you know, and it's not like it's $1 million or something.
Yeah.
Worry about your health. So that was the first, like, what's going on here? Messages us, then his girlfriend messages us a little bit more detail saying, like, hey, what can we do about our reservation? We're obviously not coming. And they had, like, a tour booked, transportation, all these things.
Their flights, of course, yeah.
Their flights. So we're like, not that we're not empathetic or worry about our guests or customers.
But you're questioning
it. They're like in the back of our heads, like, are they really, is this going on? Or are they lying to try and get out of this reservation? Is it too expensive now? Did something else happen?
Right.
But
because people do that.
People do
like
that.
we talked about last episode, I think it was the ones where we thought they were lying about the smell of smoke in the place to get out of the reservation.
Oh, yeah.
Because at first they said they weren't coming. But anyway, so people do this.
Those people said they were sick and not feel like we want our money back. It's like, okay. So a lot of people do that. They'll book a Cancun Airbnb, a Tulum Airbnb Playa or something, and then move around for a couple of days. We've done that,
right? Which
is totally fine. But then I think people drink a little bit too much, and then they're like, I can't come there. I need to stay here and then go home. So it's too much. So anyway, we kind of message back and forth with him, and it just seems so weird to the way he's explaining it until we get more details from the girlfriend. She's a little more, goes in depth of what's happening. So the homeowner, out of the goodness of her heart, says, if Airbnb doesn't allow you to cancel and refund your money, I'll help you out with a little bit, maybe half, a little less than half, just because of the situation. So that's really nice. And we're sitting there going, oh no, I hope this kid's not lying. That would be something terrible to lie about, starting your 2025 off with like heart issues. So we're giving him the benefit of the doubt, whatever. He calls, we said, you have to call Airbnb and figure out how to, get the refund, how to do all this. And then they'll reach out to us and we'll approve it. Does all that finally within like 4 hours of, I guess there was still like a cancellation policy. They had like a certain amount of time. So they get it in there by the time. And then Airbnb refunds them the whole thing. Just says, hey, this is a different cancellation policy. We're going to refund the whole thing, but still charges our host for everything. Oh my God. We go through this whole thing with Airbnb. The owner's on with them for like 24 hours, 48 hours of talking to different people, this and that. Long story long, she gets refunded. He gets refunded. Everything's good. But we still don't know if they're lying.
Right.
He never said, we'll produce, proof or this or that. Not that we would ask, but it just seemed really weird out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What do you think?
So here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know, but this is the two sides that I see. So on one side, it's this guy and his girlfriend in this group chat that you guys have. Mm-hmm. Why is he just had heart failure, whatever, that entails.
Yep.
Why is she messaging?
Yeah.
And if you just had
why isn't she messaging instead of him?
Yeah. Why isn't she messaging? And why would you do that like in the hospital and not give any detail?
Yeah.
Like, hey, actually, let me back up. Why would you do this at all right now?
Yeah.
I know they're trying to probably get it, maybe they're trying to get it done before the reservation starts or something. But if I just had some kind of heart episode, and this person is not old, right? They're like in their 20s or
they're
30s.
Late 20s, 30.
Yeah. So, whatever. That just seems like you would give a little bit more detail. Like if this happened to me, I would be like, oh my God, like, hey, I was walking down the stairs and I collapsed and the ambulance had to came and take me to the hospital, like play it up. So like if you were lying about it, I wouldn't think I would think you would like play it up a little bit more or something. But also on the other hand, if I'm going to lie to get out of an Airbnb reservation, I'm probably going to not pick an ailment that like a 20 or 30-year-old wouldn't have. So that's what makes me think it might be true.
Right.
Because why would you say, like, I mean, it's like, sorry, I just got, shingles or something, it's like, why would you pick something that wasn't super common for like a younger person? Why wouldn't you say like, hey, I broke my arm, or I got a concussion and my doctor says I can't fly, or I got make up a COVID story. That's fucking easy.
Or like, I think if this happened to you, I would be messaging, oh my gosh, my husband is in the ER for heart failure, even if this is just his girlfriend. Aren't you? She didn't seem like really concerned at all when she messaged back. And I forgot to add in, when he messaged the next day, he's like, it's going to be a long road to recovery. I'm still in the hospital. I'm getting discharged or whatever. Sorry. That once the owner laid out how much she's willing to give out of pocket, he scoffed at it and said, this has to be a joke. Just this much out of the whole thing. We're like, bro, are you not thankful to be alive in 2025? If you really did just have a heart attack, what are you talking about right now?
That seems weird to me. But also, playing devil's advocate, I could see, number one, I can see why he would message and why he might say that, because as a 20, 30-year-old, if you're having a heart thing in the hospital, you're paying some fucking big bucks. So you're probably trying to get any money you can back. Like, a few $100s is a lot to you to be able to have to pay some of these medical bills or something, or get it back or whatever. But it just doesn't seem, I don't know. It just seems very strange how he told it. And like, whatever. The last minute thing also though makes me think maybe it would be true as well, because why else he would have flights and transportation and the Airbnb and stuff. Like, if he just had, like, why would you be looking for a different place to stay the day before? Yeah. Like the night before. You've had this for months. And so the night before you leave, you're like, oh, well, I found a cheaper place. I guess maybe I should try to get out of this thing with no cancellation policy and, try to get hopefully they give me this money back and then I can book this other place, for 24 hours before I leave. Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And we're not here to like question people.
Oh, I'm 100% here for that.
I tell you this story. We use our judgment because this also reflects on the homeowner. She has the cleaning staff, us, different people to pay. She's paying her rent. She's paying all these things. Yeah. And we can't just give money away. And out of the goodness of her heart, she was like, yeah, I can agree to like half. And he just laughed at half of it. So that was super fucking rude. But also, if he's been through a lot, then, maybe he's, or maybe he's just a fucking asshole. Some guys are just dicks, know? But yeah, that's one of the things I don't think people understand when you can't, like, oh, what's the big deal? I'll just, cancel it. It, like you said, has to pay the cleaning staff, the booking staff, the maintenance people, if they're getting it ready for, that person. Mm-hmm. And then also, this is festival season. So it is, like, everything's booked right now. Yeah. And if you cancel the day before, there might not be a chance, because everybody already has their shit booked. Exactly. There might not be a chance that you re-rent it. So now we're out a few $100, dollars to a few $1,000s, depending on how long their booking is, because you canceled last minute. That's really what the cancellation fee is, or policy is for. Yeah. So you can't cancel, and then I'm like, oh, well, now I have no time to get somebody new, and now I'm out all this money, and I could have booked it to somebody else 2 weeks ago if I knew you were going to cancel. And that's exactly what happened. There's no way we could have re-rented it. We try to put it out there, but everything's booked. Everybody's already got their accommodations. Yeah. So I don't know. It seems very, like I said, I kind of believe him because it's a dumb thing to lie about. I can kind of not believe him because just the way he handled it, he wasn't very detailed. Like it wasn't very detailed. And then also I just don't know why you would be messaging as the person like, oh, like I almost, I almost just died. The last thing I'm going to do is message my Airbnb. Right. Like I just got to make sure I get those couple $100s back. Yeah. Like, and it was like a short little couple sentences like, hey, I'm in the ER for heart failure. what's the cancellation policy or something.
Yeah.
Like, we're not coming tomorrow. We're just like, why are you texting
Right.
now?
And that's why I think he should have given more detail, because
Mm-hmm.
if you're just sitting in a hospital room with literally nothing to do, you're on your fucking phone.
Yeah.
Why not write a little story of like what actually happened? If you're really trying to get lay it on thick, give me
Yeah.
the details, give me the fucking meat and
With the
potatoes.
deets. Yeah, because if it was the girlfriend that gave all the details, we're so upset, this and that, I would have been, oh yeah, 100%, this is what's going on. But it was the fact that they're just like, yeah, I'm in the hospital with heart failure, and I don't know how to get my refund. It's
Yeah.
like,
But
does this happen often?
I'm playing yeah, right. Well, I'm playing internet sleuth on this one. I've been watching his social medias. I'm looking at his girlfriend. I'm watching her social medias. If I see some fucking Tulum boom boom boom,
Yeah.
yowdy.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
We're calling. But
Airbnb. Otherwise, I hope you're better.
Yes, we.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're okay. So,
yeah.
And I hope you're not listening.
He's like, this is my favorite podcast.
Yeah,
How dare
like,
you
no.
guys? We're so sorry. You have to question things. Like,
Yeah.
the weed smoke girls tried to.
And it sucks you have to do that.
It does. It really sucks. You tried to cancel already because you were sick, and then they got pissed off at us because of the firm cancellation policy that's obviously there. Then you come and try and make up something like someone was smoking weed in our $500,000 home, which was not the case at all.
But like I tell you, when you hear stories and they just don't add up,
Yeah.
I always talk about the true crime murder shows that we watch,
Yeah.
where something actually did happen. These are the facts of it, and they don't do things that you would think were normal.
Yeah.
It's like somebody broke in and shot your wife or whatever, and you run across the street and use the neighbor's phone to call your uncle or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is actually true. What happened? Like somebody actually did kill somebody's wife, but
Not
and
at our
you're-
Airbnb.
yeah, no. I'm just
On the
saying, like
show.
on a true crime. No, I'm saying, but like, let's say this is actually true, and these are the facts.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times people do things that don't make sense and aren't common sense, and you're like, but why would you do that? That's not like
Right.
what a normal person would do. But a lot of time in stressful situations,
Yep.
you do things that are out of the ordinary.
True.
So
Not that
so it's hard to
ordinary.
tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. So hopefully this dude's okay.
We wish him the best. We hope everything's okay. And Airbnb did the right thing eventually. I am happy that Airbnb refunded them. I'm happy that whatever proof they gave or whatever story they gave, they did. Because if he does have a heart issue, sure, give him all his money
Right.
back. I would hope the same thing. Hey, this wasn't a plane delay or weather delay or something weird. I had a fucking heart attack. Is there no help for anything like that? Or I don't know
Yeah.
if they do anything for a death in the family. We had another guest just leave 5 days early because they had a death in the family, and they didn't even mention a refund, didn't even ask, hey, we got to go. That's normal
Yeah.
to me. Death in the family, get in the fucking car and go.
The problem that we have is that we have hearts.
Yeah.
And if you took this situation to a major hotel chain,
Yeah.
an airline, a cruise, you know what they'd say? They would say, cancellation policy, buddy. See
Exactly.
it right here, laid out. You signed it. Sorry about your luck. We're keeping your money.
Do you remember Delta at the Atlanta airport when we messed up my flight home, when my brother was actually shot and I was bawling, just tears
Yeah.
everywhere, snotty.
I booked the flight, and when I had backed out of the search and then went back in, it had changed the date, and so it was for the following week instead of that day.
I'll never hold it against you, babe.
I'm
I
sorry.
said we.
Yeah. Well, no, I
But
was just trying to tell them the situation, what happened. It was
Sure.
like we actually did mess it up, but that it was Delta, which is supposed to be the best. They didn't give a flying fuck.
I was there, snot everywhere, crying, like explaining, my brother, this is what's going on. I need to get there as soon as possible. Literally didn't care. It was like, not my problem. Go back online and fix it. I'm like, you can't help me fix it here. It was something you booked it online with points or something.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, we can't help you at all. You got to do it
Yeah, I
online.
think that's shit.
What?
Yeah, fuck them.
So yeah,
But anyway.
whatever.
Well, yeah, so all right. Well, that was a good story.
Yeah.
Good. I'd love to know if there's an update to it, so keep us posted.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more stories,
Yeah.
even better than that.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, if you're enjoying the podcast, buymeacoffee.com/Hansons on hiatus. You can buy us some virtual beers.
Yep.
If you have any questions for us, or if you are curious about renting a place,
Mhm.
message us on Instagram at Hansons on hiatus. And also like, follow, share, subscribe. Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, iTunes, YouTube Music.
Woo.
At Hansons on Hiatus.
We're there.
Yeah. And website, also hansonsonhiatus.com. Merch
.com.
store. You can become a fucky. Thank you to, what was that one? Like Dingleberry? No, Spandex.
Spandex Thor,
I
Dingleberry.
don't know. I just knew it was something sexy.
And Brian and Tracy.
Thank
you so much for our new medium fuckies. We appreciate you so much.
Exactly. All right. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Friday, fuckers.
Happy Friday, fuckies.
That's it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye for now. Bye.